On the show, I have a gentleman with me, a very versed gentleman on this issue, talking about Nigeria, the Boko Haram government mediation. And his name is Michael Adedeji. He's an industrialist, a business entrepreneur, and public policy analyst. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you here
Thank
again.
you.
And talking about the topic so far, the Boko Haram issue and the mediation with government. The Boko Haram has offered the olive branch in a teleconference with journalists in Maiduguri by its spokesman. Now, the recent development is that the government more or less looked like it was really anxious, you know, to entertain, okay, the peace talks with Boko Haram. What's your take on that, sir?
Well, we should all embrace peace.
Okay.
But sometimes when you look at it, should you have peace talk with a terrorist? The Boko Haram is classified as a terrorist group.
Okay.
Many lives have been lost.
Okay.
What has the government been looking at since all these days? Believe me, when you look at the statistics, it's daunting. We have thousands of
lives have been lost.
Thousands of lives, they've been lost.
And not to talk about the collateral damage.
The collateral damage, the collateral damage is awesome.
It's awesome.
The integrity of Nigeria has gone down so much because of this particular group called Boko Haram.
Okay.
You know,
we're not even looking at the economic impact of Boko Haram right now on the states where it has, you know, affected.
Yes. If you ask the governor of a state, the mind bleeds for the governor of Borno State, Maiduguri State. You know, you have people that life are lost, properties are lost. We are talking about this, and then these people say, now let's talk. Let's talk.
It's amusing, isn't it, sir?
It is amusing. I don't think so. We knew, this is what, I think President Jonathan said it before, Boko Haram, they know them.
Okay.
And now it's coming out that they know them. A spokesman is coming out of the terrorist group. This is not even a rebel, a spokesman.
But analysts say, how do you negotiate with somebody that doesn't have a face?
Yes.
That if they're going to negotiate, there should be somebody that represents the organization.
That's right. Who are we negotiating with now? Who is the government going to negotiate with? Is it the people you know before that you're going to now ask them to come? You know, the people who should have been thrown somewhere. Because a life for a life, you've lost. It's really daunting. We lost thousands. I have the statistics with me.
Mostly Christians?
Well, I don't even bring religion into it.
Okay.
Nigerians. Many Nigerians are lost.
First of all, Nigerians.
First of all, Nigerians. And then find out who are they. Somebody said Boko Haram, book, which means education.
Education is an anathema.
It's an anathema. How do you negotiate with them? I give kudos to these people who say we are going to negotiate. Okay. It's like negotiating with a deaf and dumb.
Okay.
You know to negotiate with them to do what?
That's the way you see it, right?
That's the way I see it. Okay. So it's not religious. They've killed Muslims.
Right.
They've killed Muslims.
That's true.
They've bombed mosques.
That's true. That's true.
Although we Christians suffer more than the rest of them.
Okay.
But it is not.
Okay.
I don't think it's in the right
Now,
direction.
a lot of analysts say that negotiation with Boko Haram is not the way to go, considering the fact that it would encourage other splinter groups and other uprisings, okay, amongst the looming
in United States of America, just take a leaf from the United States of America. You ask America to come and negotiate with a rebel, they will, a terrorist, they will decline it. They don't have room for that. No, it shows that we are very weak.
Okay.
To go and negotiate with this group. I don't know what we are negotiating. Do you know what they have as their policy, what they wanted? They don't like democracy.
Okay.
They don't want organized government. They don't want education. Are we going to go back to the 16th century? Is that the negotiation we are going about? Or what is it? They ask a governor should vacate. So a dictator, a blind man dictating the terms for the government of Nigeria at this time is what we are saying as negotiation.
Okay, let's take a look at one of their terms of negotiation
yes.
right now. Choosing former President Muhammad Buhari
yes.
to be a mediator, which he has declined, which a lot of analysts claim is a positive move, considering the fact that it might have killed his political career if he had agreed
even if he had not killed his political career, it would have dented the image of Nigeria the more.
Okay.
Because if you have a person who has contested the presidency in Nigeria before, now heading the terrorists, representing them.
Okay.
So, you know, where do you stand? So we all be tied with the same brush.
But let's not forget.
So Buhari's move is positive.
But looking at it from another perspective, some analysts do say that if he had accepted to be a mediator, he might have been, and the mediations was successful, he might have come out to be said that he's the one that came and actually organized
the Boko Haram.
More or less resolved the matter finally and saved a lot of Nigerians, a whole lot of
I
problems.
don't agree.
Don't you see from that perspective?
I think if he had agreed to mediate, people will see it as maybe he's the brain behind the Boko Haram in the first instance, and now to gain a political mark, so he now has accepted to mediate. There is no way that Buhari wouldn't have suffered a setback if he had accepted it.
Okay, there's no way he would.
No, he would have suffered a political setback if he had accepted. So I think his move is right.
So are you in support of a military option to this, to the extent of resolving this issue? Are you in support the government should face the issue, Boko Haram, head-on with the apparatus in which it has at its disposal, which is military, JTF, right now, and what it's doing?
Yeah, if the government had come out with full force, if they cannot do it, they should seek help. If the government had come out with full help, Boko Haram will have disappeared. Because, you know, it's not for a lily-hearted person. It's for a government that is decisive.
And you feel right now that the President Goodluck Jonathan administration has not displayed that strength in the midst of this challenge?
In solving this problem. The problem should be solved. President Jonathan meant well for Nigeria, but does he have the courage to go ahead and get these people out of the country? The worst thing that happened in the world before, worse than Boko Haram. We have seen it, you know, and we've seen how a country handled it. What are we doing? Why can't we take a leaf from that?
From those who are experienced in this, who have gone through this for decades, like the likes of Israel.
Israel is there. United States of America is there. They are there, and they are willing to help. They are not interested in terrorism. They are willing to wipe out terrorism from the face of the earth. And if we cry out to these people, they will come. They will come to our aid. We need them.
But tell me, talking about, why is it that Nigeria has not asked for help from these organizations that have the strength and have the expertise?
That I cannot speak for the government of Nigeria, but what I'm saying is that...
You do have your idea of why they should...
But I think there is maybe it's a political pride. I don't know.
At what expense?
At the expense of Nigerians.
That is not pleasant.
It's not. I'm not saying it's pleasant. Nigerians are losing so much. They have lost so much. Honestly, I don't think there is somebody there sitting down to calculate the loss of the nation. The nation has lost a lot. And at this time, what do you say to those people whose fathers have been lost, whose wives have been lost, whose children have been lost, when you now go and negotiate with the terrorists? Let's sit down and talk terms. Terms of what? Were you voted in? Do you have the mandate of anybody? Who are you to the nation? Where do you come from? A group sprang up and said, we don't want Western education. It's not a question of Western education. If we have our own system, if we have alternative, I would have said, let's consider the alternative. We don't have the alternative. We can't go back to dark ages. Why should
it's more or less absurd, sir.
It's absurd
to look at it, because even the instruments, the improvised explosives they are using,
yes,
it is a result of
Western education.
Western education.
No, the leader of Boko Haram before was an educated person. The founder of Boko Haram was an educated person. He uses a Mercedes Benz, and this person says, I don't want anything to do with the Western culture. But the Mercedes Benz he was using, he didn't make it in the backyard of his house. The houses he lived in, they said he lived affluently. Now, how can you be affluent when you don't want anything to do with the Western world? What type of affluence is that? Was he using the clothes made in Bono or Baduguri?
It's amazing.
This is it. So, it's a national issue.
Okay.
It's a national issue. It's not a religious issue.
Okay.
They've killed Muslims, they killed Northerners. The Northerners are part and parcel of us. We've killed them. They've killed many of them. Okay. They've damaged churches. It's our churches. Yes, they've damaged. And this is not the time to negotiate. Nigeria should show strength.
Okay.
Even if you are going to negotiate, you must negotiate at the position of strength, from a position of strength, not weakness. Right. At the moment, if we negotiate, well, thank you.
Okay.
Another group will spring up tomorrow and say, hey, yeah, that's Boko Haram. We now need Western Haram. We need Southern Haram. Okay. We need Northern Haram. Where do we go?
Sir, this topic, I really wish I could really take you on this topic, because you so far, it's been very interesting. Very interesting. You really need to come back, sir, on the show, and so we can really talk more about this issue, the Boko Haram issue and government mediation, because now time is not our friend. Okay, and it's really great to have you on the show as usual.
Thank you very much.
And viewers, we've been talking with a gentleman who is wealth of knowledge. Okay, is always something to relish on the show when he comes. His name is Michael Adedeji. He's an industrialist, business entrepreneur, and public policy analyst. And we've been talking about the Boko Haram government and the federal government mediation, and so far the issue seems to be evolving, and it's quite interesting. But one thing we can guarantee you, we will keep you posted on current developments on the issue. I want to thank you, sir, again for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
That's how we will be rounding off Let's Talk today. I hope you had a wonderful time on the show.